either younger than us or, past and retired. So why not? I want to challenge myself. The best always looking to fight the best and challenge themselves, and why not, challenge.
Terence Crawford can't beat him, right? This is a money grab for Terence Crawford. It's just a situation where Terence Crawford is trying to fill up his bank account opposed to actually his legacy.
But if you study Floyd closely like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring.
Stephen A. Smith. Terence Crawford reportedly accepted Floyd Mayweather's fight offer. Speaking with calm confidence, Crawford explained that boxing, for him, is about testing limits and embracing challenges, no matter how great they seem. He stressed that the best should always face the best, and he's ready to rise to the occasion once again. By agreeing to face Mayweather, Crawford made it clear that this is another opportunity to prove himself and push beyond every expectation.
This man, because this is Terrence's businessman talking, right? They got to pay the cheddar to make it better, right?
For sure. All money is good money, so you got to know that.
Okay, fair enough. I hate to use the word easy, but at times it did feel like you were, having a really easy time out there. Were you expecting it to play out that way?
Listen, it's never easy,
Stephen A. Smith has never shied away from strong opinions in sports, and boxing is no different. When he praises Terence Crawford for capturing titles in 4 separate weight divisions, it goes beyond a casual remark. It's recognition of a feat rarely seen in modern boxing. In an era where many fighters avoid moving across divisions due to the risks, Crawford's success at 4 weights sets him apart. Stephen A. emphasizes that this level of versatility and dominance cements Crawford's status as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time. It showcases not only his physical adaptability, also his technical brilliance, mental resilience, and relentless drive to challenge himself against tougher competition.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept his different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
Roy Jones Jr., a legend who understands what it takes to dominate across multiple divisions, has spoken highly of Terence Crawford's brilliance in the ring. Reflecting on Crawford's fight with Canelo Alvarez, Jones noted how he skillfully drew from the arsenals of Floyd Mayweather and Erislandy Lara, 2 fighters who had previously given Canelo trouble in different ways. What sets Crawford apart, Jones explained, is his ability to study, adapt, and apply effective strategies without merely copying them. Instead, Crawford blended those techniques seamlessly into his own rhythm, making them even more effective in real time. This adaptability, Jones emphasized, is what makes Crawford special. Unlike many fighters who rely on a single style and falter against elite opponents, Crawford's versatility allows him to rise above and consistently excel at the highest level.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat. But Bud is more fearsome and more angrier and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there and take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox him just if he could take a punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take a punch. So I knew from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about 7 to 8 rounds, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot, and he got Canelo's respect for that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very technical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did.
He got hit with some single shots going out. He's going out, and Canelo, if he has you
trapped in the corner or along the rope, there's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, an uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
He smiled about it. And sometimes that smile can be a lie, and sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
The prospect of Terence Crawford stepping into the ring with Floyd Mayweather, even in an exhibition, has ignited heated debate. Critics contend that such a matchup could diminish Crawford's legacy. Instead of building on his historic triumph, from dismantling Errol Spence to outclassing Canelo Alvarez, they argue he would be chasing financial gain rather than competitive glory. This view is fueled by Mayweather's recent focus on lucrative exhibitions rather than legacy-defining bouts. Analysts caution that Crawford has worked too hard to risk being seen as prioritizing money over history. Yet, others believe Crawford's legacy is already firmly cemented. For them, a fight with Mayweather wouldn't tarnish his reputation, rather add another intriguing and memorable chapter to his remarkable story.
For Terence Crawford, it's just a situation where Terence Crawford is trying to fill up his bank account opposed to actually his legacy. This is what was being said, right? This is what people perceived. Terence Crawford was just attempting to cash out.
When fans compare the careers of Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, the discussion quickly grows complicated. Mayweather's resume boasts victories over some of the sport's biggest names, yet critics often question the timing of those wins. They note that Canelo Alvarez was still young and developing when he faced Mayweather, while Manny Pacquiao entered their long-awaited 2015 showdown carrying an injury. In addition, Mayweather's reluctance to grant rematches, particularly with Pacquiao, left lingering questions among fans. Crawford's record, by contrast, is defined by decisive victories over opponents widely considered to be at their peak. This contrast fuels an ongoing debate. Is Mayweather's flawless career the result of unmatched skill, or of carefully calculated timing and matchmaking?
Floyd Mayweather is still greater than Terence Crawford. We need to really talk about this now. A lot of you guys are putting Crawford a bit too high. If you want to say Crawford could beat Floyd, I'm more open to that conversation, but when you're lining up the careers, I'm going to say Floyd every time. While they're both 5 division, Bud has become 3-time undisputed, but he's only fought 10 world champions to Floyd's 25 world champions. You can't take away the 5 division, 3-time undisputed. In terms of accolades, yeah, he probably gets the nod over Floyd. I say their accolades are about relative, considering Floyd Mayweather won Fighter of the Decade as well. But when you get to the resumes, Pacquiao, Oscar, Canelo, Cotto, Mosley, Castillo, Marquez, Zab, Gotti, Hatton, and Portland. There's probably way more people that this guy just didn't name. And then when you get to Bud's resume, not saying it's just bad, but only names that's really worth mentioning is going to be Spence and Canelo. It's not a knock on Bud. Bud was not able to make those fights early on in his career. But I got to tell you guys what it is. Bud's resume just doesn't line up with Floyd's. Take their top 20 wins. Bud don't even got 20 wins to really sit here and name. Floyd got a good 20-something plus. Bud probably got about 10 wins that we could really sit here and name. Floyd's still greater than Bud in my opinion.
Tony Jeff, a respected boxing analyst, has highlighted that Floyd Mayweather's greatest weapon was not just his speed or defensive brilliance, but his mindset. Jeff explained that Mayweather's unshakable belief in his ability to defeat anyone made him truly dangerous, even in bouts where the odds were tight. Floyd's supreme boxing IQ and confidence gave him a decisive edge. His skill in reading opponents, adjusting within moments, and maintaining composure under pressure set him apart from fighters who relied solely on physical talent. According to Jeff, this psychological advantage, combined with flawless technical execution, made Mayweather seem nearly untouchable, and it's the key reason he walked away from the sport with an unblemished record.
They're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Let's watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez. Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace, and this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of